I was in Charleston on the tail end of my addiction, and I had run across with somebody that I used to buy drugs from and told me that my addiction was out of control, and he gave me a treatment consultant's phone number. And I immediately made that phone call, was hooked up with a company called National Recovery, and continued to keep in contact with that company for a few months, and they got me in contact with Sovereign Health. That's how I ended up here. I have 10 years of heroin addiction, 10 years of criminal history. Before the heroin addiction, I was addicted to Oxycontin for a few years, and that's what led me into my heroin addiction. But I had reached a point where I couldn't do it anymore. Like, I was toting a pistol around, robbing people, stealing things, selling drugs, putting myself in a lot of organized crime and negative situations that were going to land me back in prison. I just killed a 7-year sentence, so at this point I was like, it's time for me to, I can't do this anymore. I hit my knees and asked God what to do, and that was when I got the phone call telling me I should get on a plane. And I was like, okay, where do I need to go? What do I need to do? And I ended up coming to Fort Myers, Florida, which is the detox for Sovereign Health. I spent 7 days there, or 7 days in detox and 14 days total before I came to Pompano Beach. I was in a serious situation where I was robbing people at gunpoint and put myself in situations that were going to put me, somebody was either going to end my life or I was going to end somebody else's life and end up back in prison and die in prison. The end result of this was death, regardless of how you looked at it, where I was at, what I was doing, unless I came into treatment. So I didn't pick Sovereign Health. I'm grateful for Sovereign Health. I'm glad that this was the program that I came to, because I feel like this is the program that was right for me. And God put me here for a reason, and that's how I ended up here. The only other treatment that I've ever been in was through Colorado Department of Corrections. It was a therapeutic community program where they really don't give you any room to hang yourself, because there's no room to hang yourself in that kind of situation anyways. But I feel like Sovereign Health, this being my first treatment program on the street, afforded me the ability to test myself and test my willingness to do the right thing, and that's what I needed to go through at this time. The very first thing the treatment consultant told me before coming here was, you were going to be safe and you were going to be comfortable. So I got here or to Fort Myers, and the very first thing they did was give me Subutex, which I had never taken before. So that right there made me comfortable. I was not going through, I was minimal withdrawal symptoms. I wasn't sick. I mean, they immediately took care of me. The nurses, the doctor, the techs, the facility staff that deal with the clients on a day-to-day basis, they were there for you and they cared about you, and you could see the genuine love and compassion that these people had for the clients that were there. The clients that I met at Fort Myers, they took me in like it was a family. It wasn't a situation that I felt uncomfortable in. I never felt uncomfortable. I never felt like I had to shy away or isolate or hide or not be around other people, because everybody wanted to bring everybody into the community. Because everybody that I met here, the majority of the people here came here on our own. We made the phone call, we got on a plane, we came here because we want to change. And that was a good feeling. I didn't have to look over my shoulder. My criminal background makes me paranoid at times, especially going into new situations. And I can say that with my background and everything that I've been through, that I had not one bit of paranoia, I had not one bit of nervousness, anxiety. Like, I was comfortable and I was safe, and I knew that. Completely exceeded my expectations. I can say right now that Sovereign Health has given me a second chance at life, and I can say that completely and open and honestly. Like, had it not been for Sovereign Health, I would be locked up or dead right now. It's afforded me the opportunity to take a second look at my life and the decisions that I'm making. It's allowed me it's given me the ability to be free again, which is something I haven't had in a long time. So the staff here, the clinical team, the treatment team, everybody that's involved in this process, the therapists, the case management, the directors, the doctors, the nurses, the housing staff, everybody in this program that's here cares about the people that are here, and they're willing to go above and beyond anything that you may think that is too much or too little. They'll do whatever they can to help you. Fort Myers was great. The food was good. They had like a tiki hut and some chairs and a table. Like, there was room to move. When I got from Fort Myers to Pompano Beach, the residence it was clean. I didn't have any issues with that. They have a pool here. They have catered food every night. It's great food. You have a refrigerator in your room. They buy groceries every week. You get like milk and all kind of food. You can't even complain about it. The housing is comfortable. The people are comfortable. The staff are easy to walk up to. That makes everything. I've had great experience with staff there. Like, my therapist is awesome. I had a great therapist at Fort Myers. I had a great therapist here. They were easy to open up to. They were easy to talk to. There was no pushing me into something I didn't want to, talk about. It was a comfortable situation. It was a trusting situation, a caring situation. These people really, I could tell that these people genuinely wanted to help me. It wasn't a facade. There was no BS with it. They wanted to help me help myself, and they did that. If you want this, you're gonna get it. Like, that's all there is to it. Like, if you want it, you're gonna listen, you're gonna pay attention, like, you're gonna learn the information. I don't think that there was any issues with it. I don't think that it was mundane or boring, but there were other people that did, but those are the people that don't necessarily wanna get it. I took all the information and utilized the tools that they gave me so that I could become a better person, and I'd taken those tools with me. The individual therapy sessions, I was comfortable. Like, if you're comfortable, you're gonna open up. If you feel like you're safe and you're trusting, you're gonna open up. I really like to learn, so all of it for me was engaging. All of it for me was I gained more knowledge than I had before. And every group, they do a lot of repetitive stuff, but you're not gonna get that information. Like, every time you listen to it again or you go through the group again, you get something new. So everything for me was perfect and on point. Get up early. You get a breathalyzer first thing in the morning, which is great because then you're being held accountable for your actions. From the breathalyzer, you have the opportunity. They provide eggs. You can cook your own breakfast or whatever. I personally came back to the center and make oatmeal every morning. From that, you start groups at your first group. Your opening meeting is at 8:30. That's with the director, a therapist, and all the clients as a whole. You start talk about what's going on at the house, what issues there are. You go through that. Then you start your first group. There's 4 groups a day. Each group is like an hour and a half, but they cut you out at an hour and 15 minutes. So you get that 15 minutes. Get some water, get something to snack on, whatever it may be. You go 2 groups in the morning. At 11:45, you get out a group. You have from 11:45 to 12:30 for lunch. They provide burritos and sandwich meat, bagels, cereal, whatever you want, tuna, anything you could possibly imagine is here to eat. So from that point, you got 2 more groups. This third group of the day is going to was probably one of my favorite groups, actually, the process group, because you get to talk about what's going on and get feedback from the people in your community. And there's a therapist in there that kind of can guide through that group, and that's a good group. You have 1 more group after that. Then I go to the gym 5 days a week. It's like, U-Fit is like the best gym I've been in a long time, and like, that was one of the things that like really sold me on coming to Pompano Beach, was the fact that there was a gym and I could work out, because I was a power lifter when I was locked up. I hold like powerlifting records in the Colorado Department of Corrections, and when I got here I weighed 160 pounds. Today, 37 days later, I weigh 202 pounds, and it's healthy weight. I go to the gym 5 days a week. I eat, and I've just gotten big, I've blown up again. So after that, we go back, and that's it. Sovereign listens really well. Sovereign pays attention. Even away from the clinical staff, the housing staff, the techs, you may not think they know what's going on, but they know what's going on. And that's a good thing, because I personally can't always identify those negative behaviors and those negative thoughts. I have had the opportunity to have somebody that was there watching me to put me in check, to be like, listen, you're doing this, and you're displaying this negative behavior. They are not therapists, but I can say that they've been around it long enough that they can call you on your BS, and that's a good thing in my opinion. And like, I can't, like, Sovereign it's amazing. This is an amazing program. Everything. They've given me what they call a toolbox full of tools, the ability to humble myself. Anger's a huge problem that I have. Resentment's a huge problem that I have, and I didn't know where that came from until I came to Sovereign, and now I have an understanding, and I have the ability to control myself because I have a history of criminal violence and institutional violence, and I have the ability, I've had to do it here, and I've been successful in controlling myself and not being violent, not violently acting out, whether that's violently, verbally assaulting somebody or physically putting my hands up. I have not done that since I've been here. That if you need treatment, this is the program to go to. This is the one that saved my life. If it works for me, it'll work for the next man. Because I have years and years and years of this negative cycle of recidivism, of going back to prison, going back to jail, selling drugs and committing violent crimes and committing crimes in general. And if I have the ability, after 10 years of using and 10 years of criminal history, to confidently say that I can go out and I can do this because I can make the right decisions, then anybody else can. Keep on trucking. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. One thing, there's a lot of cliches in these programs, Nothing changes if nothing changes. Keep coming back, it works. It works if you work it. These are all real shit. And I was like, yeah, this sucks, like, whatever, but it's real. Like, if you put forth the effort to change and you want it bad enough, you'll do whatever it takes. And I can say that my past does not define who I am today. And that was one thing that I can honestly say. I am not the same person I was 37 days ago. I am not a violent, acting out individual. I have patience, I'm humble, and I have the skills to be a better person in society, and I know that I can do it.